Shooter fans have been waiting a long time to get their hands on Killzone 2. We just got the final review code here at IGN. Jeff Haynes from the PlayStation team is going to walk us through some of the sections from the game that we haven't yet seen. So what are we looking at right now, Jeff?
Well, this is one of the courtyards. Sev has been separated from his entire squad by a weapon that was kind of unleashed by the enemy forces. And so what he's trying to do is regroup with his squad, but as he finally winds up coming through the sewers and through this whole network of places into a courtyard, he and Garza wind up getting ambushed by some Hellgast.
And so here you're a one-man show, basically.
Right. I mean, usually in a lot of the other sections, it's kind of a two-man situation. And right now, Garza's kind of fighting his own situation. He's got his hands full, and it's pretty much you. It's close quarter combat against a couple different Helgen, and you can see like some of the assault troopers and some of the scouts that are in different places. You can also see like some of these guys that have no problem flying through walls. They have no problem like detonating things, just trying to come at you. And so you really are kind of in a very tight situation.
So we've moved on and we're in the shanty town now, a little bit further into the level.
Right. Pretty much what happens is that Sev and Garza, as they're trying to regroup with everybody, they find themselves in this one section that happens to just kind of be a shanty section, a little ruined part, and they find former allies, like their bodies strewn all over the place. And as they wind up coming up on one guy who's alive, they find that, you know, it's actually a trap that the Hellgast have set for them, and they're pretty much going to be ambushed by all these troops. So as opposed to kind of the other section that we just showed, which was like a warehouse and it was really close, this one has just like tons of hidey holes and little like sections where the Hellgast can use anything from the barrels that are around to shoot and blow you up. The scary thing is that once you think you've got these guys and you've got them somewhat contained, all of a sudden like some of the guys will start coming out from other places, or there'll be a drop ship like this one which will land, deploying more forces that you then have to take care of. And if you don't take care of them quickly, then all of a sudden you find that your numbers are starting to get a little overwhelming. So this is pretty much the bridge section, the Solomon Bridge, and what's really important about this is that the ISA needs to basically use this bridge to get into a deeper section of the city so that their troops and their convoy can help reinforce some other segments. And you can tell that this bridge has kind of been turned into a demilitarized zone. I mean, there's a lot of bunkers and sandbags. A lot of the Hellgast have taken up positions, and even though you have guys kind of leaping over into my face immediately, you can tell that this is one of those key choke points that they really don't want to lose. Once you wind up getting to the other side of the bridge, you have to, of course, lower the bridge so that the convoy can come through, which is what I'm doing right there, and then pretty much get to safety because, of course, you're behind enemy lines. So you've got all these other scouts and other guys that are just waiting to pick you off until the convoy can come in and help secure you in your position, which is what these guys are doing. As you can tell, like the tanks are firing all their rockets, some of the other guys come pouring in, and you can help them. I mean, you can take one of the sniper rifles and you can take one of the points over here, and you can start to toss a couple of grenades, or you can just move in and start to help them out with some of the positions, because there's like a couple gun emplacements and you can start to aim there. One of the things that's really interesting about being a sniper in this game is that, as opposed to holding your breath or anything, holding the controller steady actually manages to make your shots work better. Mm-hmm. Problem is that, of course, you're in a war zone. So anytime that a grenade goes off, you know, it's going to unsteady your aim. You're going to have to deal with that compensation of the rocket going off, with the grenade going off right next to you, because of the concussive force of the explosion. So a lot of times, even though you've got your controller steady, mm-hmm. if all of a sudden you find that somebody's like got a grenade that they just threw out at you, your shot might get messed up because you just weren't expecting a rocket or a shell to go off.
Yeah, it's a really neat feature, I think. So here you can kind of see, like, I mean, Killzone 2's best feature, pretty much bar none, is the graphics and the visual presentation. You can see here just how much stuff is going on at screen at once. You've kind of killed off some of the guys, but there's a big open battlefield. You're with 7 or 8 of your own friendly AI guys. You're fighting 10 or 15 other enemy guys. There's rockets being launched every few seconds. There's a guy on a turret. There's firing off bullets willy-nilly. There's lightning in the background. There's little scraps of paper blowing across. And I mean, it's sort of hard to pick out one environmental detail that's stunning, but the number of things that are all happening on screen at once is sort of create a really striking, really completely immersive kind of visual presentation. I don't think we've seen anything like this in a console game, at least, before.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things with Killzone 2 is that as everybody keeps constantly referring back to the E3 video, like, it might not necessarily be what they showed, but it is either pretty close or in some cases it has surpassed what they showed, primarily because of just what you've got on screen. I mean, you've got like all these dust particles that they're tracking, you've got the smoke, you've got the wind, you've got the particles that are kicked up from explosions or rockets, you've got like all these individual light sources, you've got lens flares, you've got all these other things that it's actively tracking at one point in time on the screen without any serious slowdown, any significant visual like glitches or things like that, and that's really, really impressive.
All right, so that wraps up our in-depth look behind the scenes at Killzone 2. Well, thank you, Jeff, for walking us through some of the middle sections of the game, and I hope you enjoyed it.